Hello, it's me, Richard Herring. You're on my YouTube channel. We've got lots of stuff on here, including nearly all of the RHLSTP videos. We stopped putting them out in 2021. You had to become a badger to see them. You can still become a badger, and you can see all of the videos straight away if you go to gofasterstripe.com/badges. £3 a month, you get a membership pack and badges and advance warning of the guests and backstage interviews and all sorts of things. You'll get sent a link with the link to all the videos shortly after you have joined. Or you can just sit here and wait for them to come out week by week for free. This one is with the Parapod, the fantastic podcast. They just released a movie, so they're talking about that. Doesn't seem like three or more years ago, but there we go, it was. And loads more to come, but as I say, you can see them all if you become a monthly badger. That will also help us make more podcasts. Also, if you can listen to the podcasts wherever you get your podcasts, we make a small amount of money from that. Or if you can come and see me live, richardherring.com/RHLSTP for the RHLSTP dates, richardherring.com/ballback/tour for my dates for my upcoming stand-up tour. If you want to pay back for all this free content, that's a great way to do it. But if you don't, just sit back and enjoy watching the Parapod. All of it here, right now. I hope you enjoy it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Leicester Square Theatre. Please welcome a man who is currently retracting his penis. It's Richard Herring! Oh, yeah. You're much better than last week's audience. I can tell that already. I'm patronising you. Last week's were much better. So, welcome to Richard Herring's Leicester Square Theatre podcast. I was talking to Echo Smith, and they said they wished that they could call it RHLSTP, which you'd really laugh at if it was 2014. If I'd done it then. It's a good joke. So, this is what... hello, welcome to the live streaming people again. I hope you're having a nice time. I hope it's all working okay. Someone in the audience actually tweeted me this week to ask me if I'd been at a festival and said that... it was actually their husband said, can you settle a family argument? And he said, my wife said she met you at a festival this week and you talked for 5 minutes. And I wasn't at a festival. I was home being dizzy. And it turned out that someone was pretending to... She'd recognised someone who she thought was me and said, are you Richard Herring? And he'd said yes. And they'd had a 5-minute discussion about the podcast in which I'd said, what a talent James Acaster was. That should have been there. And he'd had a photo taken... And she sent me the photo of a man who looked vaguely like me. But he looks what? Well, I know you said he sounded like it's Hannah. I'm guessing that's Hannah. He had the same voice as me. And I'm getting all these stories all the time around the country. People saying, you were in a KFC in Southampton, you were very rude. There was a few, when I was writing for the Metro, I wrote an article about politeness and someone said, that's very interesting, given the way you were behaving in that curry house in Walthamstow last night. There's some guy going around pretending to be me. He's got my voice down. He knows, doesn't pretend. He's getting all the benefits of being Richard Herring, which is many benefits. I once got £1 off key cutting because of who I was. In Welwyn Garden City, the man recognised me, gave me £1 off. Because he's getting that. I've earned that £1 off my keys. All the ladies I would be getting off. He's getting the Richard Herring. He's got very bright white teeth, this guy, which I don't. And he's got a snaggle tooth that goes. If you meet him, it's not. If you see a guy, look at his teeth. That's how you can tell. But I'm worried it is because I do so much stuff where I'm multiple personalities now. I'm worried it is actually me. Didn't look anything like. He's so insulted, Hannah, that you think he. Yeah, it's all right. And it's just a coincidence you're here this week after... A bit worried about. If you would look like me, would you go around saying you were me or would you go around saying you were Brad Pitt? That's the question. That's what I would do. Is he just answer to whoever he says? I'm going to put your photo up, mate. I know you're listening. Copying my voice. Listening for I'm going to get you. I'll catch you. And my other... look out for the teeth. The other news is that my son, he's nearly 4. He's 4 next month. He told me the other day we were going out at a soft play and he's having a baby. He's going to have a baby. So it's... coming at Christmas. I'm looking forward to it. It's in his tummy at the moment, he told me, and it's coming out at Christmas, and I told him it's good to be. I didn't think I'd get to be a granddad, so it's nice. Nice that that's happening. That's my big news. So, my guests this week are probably best known. One of them is best known as the winner of the Phones For You comedy. Remember Phones For You? Remember them? He was the one who ended that. And the other one is best known for being the warm-up for the Channel 4 pilot Felix and Murdo. We please welcome Barry Dodds and Ian Boldsworth, ladies and gentlemen. Here they are. There's Ian Boldsworth. He's not there. Okay. Ah. Wow, it's a ghost. It's a ghost. They're making their own. They're making a film right now.
It's a 360 camera.
Is it?
Yeah, I wanted people to, ordinary people.
Yeah.
I wanted them to experience what it was like to walk out on your
show. Too many degrees, 360. You
Say
don't
bye
need
to them.
Bye-bye. Thanks for coming to my show.
It's finished now.
Good. That's nice. How you doing, boys? Lovely to see. This is you are actually the guests who were... Before I start, actually, I do want to say, Ian...
Yeah.
Just leave the sexism in the dressing room this time. Just, we haven't had you've had to change your name. We haven't had you back all this time.
You should explain that because several times I've noticed in your blog that you say several times. Sorry, mate. I feel like I'm really blocking you out. Several times you've said about notorious sexist Ian Boldsworth and all that, and which is fine. That's fine. And relatively fair comment.
Yeah.
But that's the problem. Even that, they're like, is he serious? Is he actually a real one? So people don't know because not everyone listens to your podcast. Not everyone.
No, it's true. Well, I did think about putting out a call on Twitter saying, if you're the girl who... I'll give you £1,000 to come and sit in the front row.
Really? Yeah. Really? Well, what was never said on that one... This is Barry, by the way.
Hello, Barry.
What was never said on that one...
Right.
Was
Hello, internet as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he is right.
No, I said to somebody I'd wave at them. So,
okay.
What, your friend internet? Oh, it don't matter. There was somebody accused me of being a sexist. I wasn't being a sexist. It was
where were they sat?
They were there, where that fucking woman is there.
All that is close.
It was a Sunday afternoon gig, and for some reason,
wasn't it weird? It was an horrible thing. And you gave me the money that they paid for their badges on top of the fee. Yeah. So that I could tweet, "I got your pound." I changed the badge to "I got your pound," that sort of thing. But I've had no, don't matter. But that's been brought up in counselling.
Has it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful podcast. Go back and listen to it. It was called Ray Peacock in those days. I think it's under that old name. So had to change his name.
Thanks for sending everyone there.
That's all right.
Appreciate it.
It was a lovely podcast, and so it's nice to have you back. And you were the guys who were the first show cancelled. And we actually were before the official. We cancelled the show before the official lockdown came.
Yeah, we were here and everything. Yeah.
So it was. So it's nice to have you back. There's many who'd booked tickets.
Why
cheer
would you
now.
try and humiliate? Imagine
I want you to know.
That was just one person.
Hello. They've come back. They've still liked you 18 months later.
Thank you very much.
They've come here to see you, not to see Bob Mortimer, which was last week anyway. So why would they be here now?
I thought this was sold out, though. There's loads of empty seats.
Yeah, they're sold. That's the ghost. That's ghosts, Barry. Every single one of those is a ghost. I had an elderly audience.
Family. All four of them.
We talked about this.
I know. Where's me water?
On Patreon, we did a dummy run of this show because I said I was so worried about Barry.
I've got me book. Shall I go get me book that's got the list of things not to talk about? Shall I have it handy? No. I won't read it out, but I'll refer to it before talking.
But you can't... That's dressing room chat, that, mate. That's not something that we discussed
No, we did it
when the show has started.
All right, okay.
Shall I go and get me book that tells me not to be racist?
No, it wasn't racist. It was, I'm not racist.
Accents was the thing we discussed.
Accents.
Yeah, don't do accent.
I won't do an accent, apart from Geordie.
Okay.
But that's, you know.
I mean, is that an accent, Barry? Your own voice? I don't know if your own voice is an accent.
My accent goes if I'm nervous, angry, or scared.
Yeah.
Really Geordie.
So always Geordie.
Yeah, that's it. You have no other emotions.
Normally it's just like really boring and.
A lot of this film is completely indecipherable because he's just terrified for the whole thing.
How are the Americans going to deal with it?
Pardon?
How?
What?
The Americans, like...
Don't worry about it. It's
Oh,
not.
fair enough.
We're going to send you around to every house in America that buys a film and you have to say slowly what you meant.
All right. I thought you were going to say I had to go around and apologise.
That too.
So we should explain for any listeners who are unaware of the film, and you both work together on a podcast called Parapod, and incredibly, you've had enough people who are fans of that and listen to that to make a feature film based on the
It's
podcast.
a common misconception that
That the show's popular enough.
No. We did. We got a decent chunk. We sold credits on the film, so
Yeah.
we basically said you can have your name on the credits for a tenner.
Yeah.
So we did. So that launched it as a project, but it's been funded on top of that.
Sure.
Because we've got a producer here who's put like loads of money in, who's going, can somebody give me some credit, please? So yeah, he saw it through, and I've put a fair chunk in as well, really.
Sure.
Over the years, so it's sort of yeah, I think it's a misconception that it's completely crowdfunded.
Okay. It is.
Because
it's one that I'm happy to carry on with.
I think you and I started before you, and then you copied the podcast, and then you started doing it as well. And I think you and I have been sort of weirdly neck and neck for a while, but I've now gone beyond just crowdfunding everything all the time. I now have meetings and stuff where people go, yeah, I'm prepared to put... I won't even embarrass you. But it's silly money. It's silly money. Daft money, innit?
I've got to the point where
Stupid amount of money.
Daft money. He's never said
a lot
such
of money.
a thing.
But it's very exciting, and the good news is I've seen the film twice, and both times it's not even shit the second time. And I'd have been really happy if it had been bad. I would have been so happy if you'd spent loads of money on something that was really shit. And the other good news is you don't have to listen to the podcast. I mean, you should listen to the podcast, but if you haven't listened to the podcast, it doesn't matter.
No,
it's very
not.
Quickly explained what's happened in the podcast. Barry seems to believe anything that is said to him. And it's sort of become even more topical as a result of that, hasn't it, in the way that the world's operating now.
I'd say, do you think... I'd say the original series has become more relevant... Well, certainly the third series, which is about conspiracy theories, has become more resonant and relevant, I think, sadly. But it's also something, I'm quite confident I'm going to be held up as some sort of Nostradamus figure in years to come because I said this would happen. I did.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't the only person saying it, but...
So you believe in something paranormal then, is that what you're saying?
Yeah. No, I was... the conspiracies series, the third series, there was a lot of like quite how frightening this is. That it's when I go serious about it, about people believing in ghosts and stuff. It's because people go, "What's the harm in him believing whatever he wants?" It's like, well, nothing really. But until you go, that is your base. That's what you do. So for somebody who believes anything, no matter what. And I don't even mean Barry really in this, but the people that will just believe there's a ghost in there, that theatre's haunted, there's a ghost in there, and they go, oh, there is, I can feel it, I can sense something. If you're predisposed to feel like that and to accept things like that, it follows that you're also predisposed to someone saying to you, they're putting a microchip inside you.
Yeah.
Or do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, definitely.
So that's where it's dangerous. That's where it's like, and then you get buffoons going out and shouting that with megaphones and stuff, you know,
Yeah.
and stopping people from taking their talk about choice and stopping people taking their choice. So it sort of stops being funny at that point.
Yeah.
Really, in terms of what we do.
Bad luck, isn't it, for you then?
Well, no, because the thing about it is a lot of them are going to die. Like they are, and I've genuinely got to a stage now. Like, God forgive me, but I've got to a stage now where I'm like, fuck them. Like I really have.
Yeah.
It's, you know, the people that are affected by their actions, I've all the sympathy and heartache for in the world. But for the people that are now actively not doing stuff, fuck them. That's really where I'm at.
Yeah. And Ian's the more skeptical of the two. So it's the more skeptical. He's more skeptical. I was listening to I think the third series, which was about conspiracy theories, and there was one that I hadn't really the very enjoyable episode about the Mandela effect, Barry.
Yeah.
Are you still into the Mandela effect? And do you want to explain what that is?
You should explain. Actually, we should genuinely shut up for about half an hour.
Yeah.
Because this is a big topic. So if you could explain everything, or just anything.
So the Mandela effect is we remember things happening differently to how they actually happened. And the conspiracy of it, when you get right down to it, people seem to be blaming something to do with the Large Hadron Collider.
Yeah.
I did.
Because I think you're terrified at the moment.
I'm a bit scared, yeah.
It's like I didn't bother with that. I was too busy, like the whole thing about things being different. That was the bit that got me, not the explanation. So,
you can almost sense our downloads spiking at the moment, can't you? As people, I've got to hear more about this.
Sorry, no, I'm trying to think what's different now. Because you've got to remember what it was. So one of them... Oh, no.
It's one of them, there was a...
No, wait, you
can't...
yeah,
cheers, nice.
No, that's not how this works. You can't have someone prompt you and tell you that your friend's sat there going, say something intelligent, for God's sake.
Right, what did... Who is it? The Queen. What did... Right, you know the film Snow White and the Seven...
Yeah.
That one.
The seven what?
Is that on your list not to say dwarfs?
The seven what?
Tell him off.
What for? That's what it's called. He's not said anything wrong. You've made it look weird by going... The seven... I don't like talking about them. They scare me. For Snow White and the Seven Dwarves, you can say dwarves. That's the name of the film. If it's a person walking down the street, you can't go, look at that dwarf. That's the difference. It's a little person.
What if they're in it in the theatre?
If you're in the theatre, then you just don't...
Probably...
I learned that here last time. Just don't talk. Don't.
All right, okay.
Just shut up.
No, it's about... So, right, the Queen in...
Yeah.
I've worked so hard on this film.
Yeah.
The Queen...
For years.
The Queen in Snow White, what does she say to the mirror?
I've listened to the podcast.
Which is what he told you at the beginning of the question.
Oh, yeah. Well, everyone thinks it's mirror, mirror on the wall.
They don't. I told you straight away that it wasn't that. when you said it to me, I told you straight away.
Yeah, but then we rang me mum, and me mum said...
Your mum isn't everybody. She's just a very unfortunate lady. That deserves nothing but our sympathy.
But the Mandela effect, so the actual Mandela bit, I mean, this is one of the many changes that's happened through that you think it's mirror, mirror on the world, but it's magic mirror on the world, and that's one of the differences between the two universes.
Yeah.
Thank God I don't live in that other fucking universe where it's magic mirror.
These vast universes. Anyway, C-3PO hasn't got a silver leg in that one as well. It's horrible. It's horrible.
Someone was surprised in 2007 or something, was surprised to hear that Nelson Mandela was still alive.
Yeah.
Because they remembered Nelson Mandela dying in prison in 1986.
They remember his funeral.
Yeah. I remember him being the president of South
I remember
Africa.
that. Yeah, I remember that.
I remember him getting out of prison
Do you watch the news?
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
I really...
It's that, mate.
really have a strong memory of that.
I don't know anything about Nelson Mandela, if I'm perfectly honest.
But did you know that he died?
No.
But were you certain that he was alive?
I didn't know if he was alive or dead.
That's the answer.
Right.
You're just not informed about it. Which is fine, you're allowed to not be, but
Yeah.
But it's not anything to do with the Large Hadron Collider.
But also a universe where the Snow White's changed a bit probably won't change that much in the world. People would say that was phrased slightly differently. But a universe where Nelson Mandela had died in 1986 would be really different. I mean, there'd be a lot of differences now because he did a lot of stuff. And he wasn't all... I mean, he was well known, but he became better known once he was released from prison. It's sort of astonishing someone could get 2007 and not remember that he was the president of...
But that's the argument that in where they live, in their universe, that that hasn't happened. That's the argument, that he did die in prison, but it's just... But we can talk to them for some reason, these people on a different plane.
Yeah, well, that's possible.
It's not, it's toss.
I believe that.
It's utter toss as well, you know. It's nonsense.
believe in that.
It's nonsense. Yeah, but I see what your tactic is. Yeah, I get it. I've just got it. Yeah, okay.
Okay, well, that was so. That was an interesting thing about conspiracy theories. It's well worth listening to, mainly because when you talk to your mum, you call the film Sleeping Beauty. How do you know you're not from a universe where...
You do.
Yeah.
You ask
that's the whole about 15 minutes. And then your mum goes, I think it's Snow White. And then you go, no, I'm pretty sure it's Sleeping Beauty.
And his
mum... And then so that's how mistakes happen, that people misremember things.
Although I should tell you, mate, like in your defence, that on my copy of it, you don't say that at all.
Really?
Yeah. Don't mention Sleeping Beauty at any point.
No. Is it all...
You sure he mentioned Sleeping Beauty?
Yeah, I think in mine it was all about sleeping. There's a long
I
conversation.
don't remember that. I edit it as well, so I should know. Wow. No? Weird. He's gone now. He's gone. He doesn't even know the joke we're doing. He's just gone.
It's exciting, isn't it? Believing everything. Is it? It's good.
That's the most I've ever been talked down to in my entire life.
And that's fucking saying something.
It's exciting, isn't it?
It's nice.
Do you like London, the big lights? Ooh. Do you want to go on a big red bus? Sorry. Okay.
He is right.
Yeah. Have you got any? Is there any new things you're obsessed with? Or any?
What was that obsessed with last night? Oh,
He does one a day.
Some people might know about this. I found out about it, and I had a bit of a debate with a mate of mine. Has anyone heard of the fallen angel of Catalonia? Has no one heard of this? These blokes went
Not in this universe, mate. Not in this universe.
These blokes went into the woods because they could hear something, and they went in, and there's feathers everywhere. Honestly, they went in.
In a wood.
Yeah.
Well, okay, weird.
And you'll have to watch it, but there's...
No, you tell us.
You can't watch it. That's not legal, is it? I don't think you can watch that, can you?
What?
Watch what?
The video of the fallen angel, Catalonia.
It's the feathers of an angel.
Well, that's what they say, because there's this weird creature.
Who's they? Who does?
The people who put the video on.
Right.
Yeah.
The people with the agenda.
They're not famous. I've never heard of them.
What do you mean you've never heard of them? You're telling us about them right now. How have you never heard? You have heard of them. Because they told you that them feathers were from an angel. Otherwise, you wouldn't have heard of them, would you?
No, I can't remember. I would have heard about it, actually.
No, it doesn't.
But anyway, there's this thing in the woods, right? And it's... Honestly, just look at it, and it looks at the camera, and it's got glowing eyes. It's the freakiest thing. I watched it last night, and it honestly gave me chills.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I didn't send it to you.
Is it real, Christina? No, Christina says it's not real. Your friend in the audience says it's not.
I sent you a link.
Christina sent you a link that debunks it.
Yeah, but I
The
found...
film's available to pre-order on iTunes. And,
But I found a website...
top of the charts at the moment on the pre-orders. And It comes out on the 27th of September, but we're doing some dates before that, but I don't think this will be out before then. Sorry, carry on telling us about your glowing eyes.
But it's sort of. I mean, I don't want to patronise you, Barry, because
It's all right.
Because Ian does a very good job of that in the film.
Do you think I patronise him?
Yeah, and bully him a little bit. Now I'm up here, I sort of understand it.
Yeah, but it's not.
When I watched the film, I thought, oh, that's a bit harsh.
Yeah.
But now I'm here.
Yeah. You can hit him if you want. You can go and do one kick. You can have one kick. I would do. Well, we debate it, don't we? We say that I don't bully you. Don't we say that? Say it. Tell the people. I've not been accused of bullying Barry very much.
Okay.
It's sort of a common misconception that I have been accused of that.
Yeah.
And we think it's maybe happened 2 or 3 times ever that have actually been accused. Because it's one of them where it's like, you know what I mean? It's not. There's no gun at his head or anything like that. And it's, the whole premise of the show is that I did. Are you doing puppy dog eyes out?
Just blink if you want to get out.
But the one time where someone on, I think, was it on Twitter or something, somebody had a go at me about it, and we took that picture.
Yeah, someone had a go, and then for a laugh, I was your footstool.
Yeah. Just put him on all fours, and I had my feet on him playing PlayStation.
Playing Spider-Man, yeah.
Saying that I didn't bully him at all. But I made him do that. I said he had to do it. Or I would give him a Chinese burn, is what I said.
It's a nice relationship because you are very strident in believing what you believe, and you very strongly believe what you believe, and you're not going to really resolve it, I don't think.
No.
And that's a nice relationship. You're clearly enjoying yourselves throughout the film.
But if it was a marriage, you would dissolve it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You would go, no, this is irreconcilable differences here. Yeah. It is. Well, that was said, wasn't it? At the premiere, when we did the premiere back in the olden days, before. Do you remember somebody said about the film that what they liked about it was that it was 2 complete opposite points of view that didn't kill each other at the end, and we're still friends.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? By the end
I
of
remember,
it,
yeah.
And it that hadn't even occurred to us. I don't think. I don't think it had really in putting it together. And it was one of them where it was like it felt, that was like peak Trump time as well. That was that really divisive thing. Yeah. And it did. There was a moment at the premiere where it was like, oh, that is a really good point. That is, that this is like 2 very different things and you don't see that very much nowadays. I don't think you do. Like on social media and stuff, it just seems to be and there's no connection at all. So I think the fact that we managed to stay civil for probably 90% of the film, really, there's only one big blowout in it.
Yeah.
And there's one big blowjob as well. And that's right near there.
That's for the Patreons.
Yeah. No, it feels a bit like that. You don't want to get sort of overly proud of yourself because it wasn't an intentional thing. But when something like that comes out of it, you go, oh, this now feels quite key. It feels quite relevant.
But from your point of view, wouldn't you have quite liked it if there was... I mean, it would be quite good for you if there was definitive proof...
Of there being a ghost?
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. No, of course, yeah, definitely.
I mean, there's a bit where, it's certainly open to question whether there's a ghost. Certainly one of you thinks that. I'm not going to reveal which one of you it is. I don't want to spoil the film.
Well, it was...
But there's a scare. It's properly...
It's scary, yeah.
It's probably scary. It's a very funny film, but it's got proper scare moments in it, mainly because you're scared of everything. There's lots of which happens in proper horror films. That a leaf falls on you and you jump 10 feet in that.
Well, that is a direct quote from the film where it goes, it's a leaf.
well, that happened a lot when we were making it because I'd go to the toilet or something and then I'd come out and he'd be hiding behind the door or something like that, and it always made me jump. I'm really easy to make jump, but that bit that you're talking about, that bit in the film. I don't mind. I get it. I know it's funny when I laugh when people jump. One of my favourite programmes is You've Been Framed. I love watching people falling over, getting a shock and things like that. I love all of that. Right?
Fall over, getting a shock. That's what you said.
No, it's like a montage. There's loads. You should honestly.
I should watch it.
Yeah.
What is it called? You've been what? Right. What is it?
but it's
watch it.
But there was. So I I know what's funny. I'm a comedian, apparently.
That's his opening line when he does it. Hello, I'm Barry Dodds. I'm a comedian, apparently. I know what's funny.
But so I know those bits are funny, but that bit that you're talking about,
Yeah.
I find it really difficult to watch.
Yeah.
And I find it...
That
can't...
bit's not funny.
No, it's...
I've never seen an audience laugh at that.
I don't think it's funny at all.
It's fine. No, it's not what I'm saying. It's genuinely
Yeah.
upsetting and disturbing, and you know,
It's one of the worst things that's ever happened to me. I was talking to somebody about this recently, a ghost hunter on an investigation somewhere, and it came up, and I said I still can't find it as being a positive thing in my life because I hated it, and I hate that it happened. But
well, there is a bit as well in that similar part of the film where you get a curse put on you.
Me.
Yeah, you go into you dress as a witch, put a curse on you, and then COVID came along.
That's true.
And it
That is
ruined
true.
it. You were just about to launch the film, and then COVID came along.
It would take some leap of narcissism. Wouldn't it, though? Like, you know what I mean? We've all got egos and stuff, but it would take some leap of narcissism for me to go, it's because Barry made me stand in that stone circle in Edinburgh. It's definitely me. It's definitely me that's cursed here.
Yeah.
You know, it's not.
But there's loads that hasn't gone smoothly since you did that.
In the world?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To
for
be
everyone.
fair,
Are you genuinely pinning this on me? Is that, are you genuinely...
Right, we had the premiere and we were dead excited.
Yeah.
Next door in the cinema. And
Don't even know what it's called. Go on. Yeah, Prince Charles.
Prince Charles Cinema.
Yeah.
Big moment.
Yeah.
What scaffolding up everywhere. Couldn't say our name on the board.
Well, they didn't put our name up. They had to refund us
Did they?
because we paid for a marquee thing and then they went, oh, we're not doing that at the moment.
Oh, right.
So they ruined our premiere.
Well, that was one bit.
So you think that the Prince Charles Cinema in London decided to do renovation work on their ancient cinema because I stepped in a stone circle in Edinburgh?
I'm just saying there's been loads of unlucky things.
Well, carry on.
happened.
Keep going.
Someone's windscreen cracked while we were driving. Did.
Yeah. Your pipes burst at home,
Pipes burst at home.
but you didn't step in the stone circle, so what's that?
Did the woman heckling you happen before or after you stepped in that circle?
Yeah, before.
I was going to say a lot of bad things have happened to Ian before that happened.
That is true, yeah.
But it was weird. I still wouldn't step in that circle. I was so surprised. I know obviously you're fiercely skeptical, but I was still surprised with how casually you did it. Even
Well, yeah, I feel like a lot of what we're saying here, we're not even. It's like if you've not seen the film or whatever, which most people haven't, they don't know what we're on about. So the stone circus, Barry made me stand in a stone circle in the Edinburgh Vaults, which was run by a witch's coven. And then when we got there, he found out the witch that he was going to get to put a curse on me had died 3 years ago. So he had to put the curse on me, and he said that if I didn't stand in the stone circle, this is his words, that proves that I think there's something in it. So as in, you know, something in it being, you could be cursed. So I had no choice but to do that anyway. The only thing that would have stopped me doing it is respect, really, you know, being disrespectful. But I don't believe in any, but I had to, didn't I? I had to go into the middle of the stone circle. But I've not felt particularly unfortunate since at all. And I can't possibly, to either of you, say that a pandemic is all aimed at me.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it's not felt personal.
Alan thinks that you really believe, though, doesn't he? Don't you, Alan?
Fuck off.
You think
Who's
he's
Alan?
Oh fuck.
He
Yeah,
says
so that's that sort of level. That sort of level.
he says he thinks that beanie hat looks ridiculous.
It does, yeah.
So Alan's saying it to me.
Well,
do you know about Alan?
Do you want to explain that?
Alan was in the house where the monk was halfway up the stairs with us.
So, in this situation now, here's the situation now. I'm as baffled as
And
you
he's
all
just
are.
here. Alan's just
Yeah, no, so exactly that. So what he's doing now, that means that his opinion on this can't be trusted. So that means that when he's trying to give an argument about something, the fact he's going, who's Alan? Who's Alan? He just doesn't remember. So how can you possibly hold up a coherent argument? You just don't remember. It's what Carol said. Carol said she was speaking to someone called Alan.
Oh, right.
So in the
okay.
film, I'm speaking to someone who's a psychic medium, And she starts talking perfectly pleasantly at first, and then kind of got under her skin a little bit, and then she just...
Under Alan's skin.
Yeah, she just lost her shit with me. And there's just a bitch went, right, and I have got someone by the side of me now. It's called Alan. And basically she goes, and he's basically saying you're a twat. Basically, you're pig-headed.
Yeah.
And he's saying that you're so pig-headed, you don't want to believe. And all. Yeah, that's what happens.
He's right, though, isn't he?
Yeah,
I thought you were right,
Yeah,
Alan.
yeah, cheers. That's fine. We can have our opinions, Alan, on this, can't we, mate? We can. I don't know anyone called Alan at all. I don't.
No, he says he doesn't know you either. He just wanted he just seen you. He was in the room. He saw you, and he really wanted to have a fucking go.
But apparently, according to that, in that bit, she also says that Alan says I was just like that as a child. And the thing about it is I wasn't.
Yeah.
I really wasn't. I was like shy kid, really.
Yeah.
And I believed in ghosts as a child, and I believed in God and all that sort of stuff. So I wasn't confrontational as a child.
I think Alan had just lost his temper, and so he was he was just acting
They
up.
all just
he
lost
was
their
saying
mind.
stuff he didn't believe just because he was angry about you not believing in him.
Do you really genuinely in real life, like we've known each other long enough, so do you in real life like the film?
Do I like your film that you've
Yeah.
done?
Yeah.
I do like your film. I think it's...
Does that genuinely in real life
Yeah.
annoy you a little bit?
It doesn't, because I am a
No,
very...
it can.
I know it doesn't, though, because I'm a very grounded person, and I'm very happy when my friends do well.
So revenge isn't a thing for you
No,
at
it
all?
isn't a big thing for me.
Okay.
But no, but also what I like about it is that it's one of the... There's been a few things like this that have happened. Again, you are certainly in terms of doing a feature film, that's incredible.
Doing a what?
Doing a feature.
A feature film, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, for a podcast, there's lots of podcasts that have gone a certain way, or bits on the internet that have gone a certain way. And I, as a fan of people doing stuff on the internet, I'm very excited by people pushing back the boundaries and finding new ways of doing stuff. So even if the film had been not that good, I would have still thought, that's good, isn't it? They've done a film.
You've done a thing, yeah.
But it stands up as a film in its own right. So and I think people will, who knows how it will go, and who knows whether people will find it. But I think it's the kind of thing that could easily, push through, and people will discover it and enjoy it. It's funny, and it's a bit scary, and it comes to a conclusion.
You worry about things anyway, don't you? But I think that this is the most I've been a little bit frightened of making something like as in now, when reviews are coming in at the moment, and thus far they've all been lovely thus far. But I think this is the most. I normally my attitude is like, fuck them, if they don't like it, they don't like it, and there's a bit of that with me. But I think there's also a little bit of me at the moment is like, I really would like this to do well, because I've worked really, 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 really hard on it.
Well, it's been, 4 or 5 years you've been working on it?
Yeah, it's about 4 years, 4.5, yeah.
And so, it's a big chunk of your time in your life, and you've given, a lot of yourself to it. So, yeah, of course you're going to feel like that. And, you never know. The great things can happen and people never find them.
Is this you starting to let me down?
No.
And you never know. Sometimes brilliant things just don't, it just doesn't happen. But we're not the sort, are we, that show that vulnerability.
But
and it's uncomfortable.
Something could come from it. But even if something... I think that, having been through the stuff I've been through this year, talking to Bob as well, when he's been through something. Bob Mortimer, my friend. Good friend of mine. You do something and then something comes out of that anyway. It doesn't sometimes the thing, is successful and something comes of it, or sometimes something goes badly wrong and good things come out of it. And that really happened. If you read Bob's book, that happened a lot for him, that something bad happens and it's good. So the fact you've done this is admirable, incredible, and so that's the only time I'm going to be sincere.
No, it's I'm not. It wasn't. I'm not fishing for compliments.
I know, I genuinely would want you to, if we have banter and fun, and you are a dick, but I'm
a dick with 2 balls underneath it. Thus far,
yeah,
let's be honest.
What, right underneath.
Have you told him about it?
Have I told him about what?
About the operation.
Have I told Ian about the operation?
I can see your eyes.
Oh, yes, I see what you mean. Oh,
yeah, he's quite. Ian had to leave because he's quite squeamish, and so even discussing open heart surgery.
When Bob was discussing that, I had to actually leave the building.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have it with the audiobook for Gone Fishing. I don't want to promote his stuff. He never mentioned ours. But in the audiobook for Gone Fishing, which is a lovely audiobook because they don't read it, they just chat. It's just a podcast, really.
Yeah.
And the first chapter, or maybe the second chapter, I just can't listen. I have to skip it if I'm in the car.
Yeah.
Because it's really dangerous.
Right.
I could genuinely just pass out.
Okay.
I am, but I'm like ultra squeamish, not properly. So, why are you looking so mad and excited?
I'm not.
Tables have turned.
I just find it funny because you're somebody who watches the Saw films and all that, and then
but not much. But I know what you mean. But I know that's not real, so I'm okay with that. But I'm ultra. You're squeamish, though, aren't you?
I am.
Quite
Yeah,
squeamish.
Yeah.
So like even when I was messaging you when you had your operation and stuff, and I did attempt sincerity for a text, and you attempted it for half a text back. You said that it put my kidney stones to shame and all this sort of thing.
Yeah.
Before you knew it, it was just a very inappropriate text back and forward, wasn't it? But in that moment, I did say to you, I think I put it in brackets or something, and they went, genuinely, don't tell me details because I genuinely will faint.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Good to have that power, isn't it, Barry? It's good to have that.
amazing.
Get it over him. But I think it's exciting that that's possible, that's feasible. I've done 2 independent films in this last year, and one of them was a budget of like $100,000, which is tiny for a film.
Ours was less than that.
Was it less than that? Well, yours looks amazing for that, and I think they're both probably that small. And if you get a team of people together who are enthusiastic about something, who are skilled at what they do, you can now make something look like it looks like a proper film. It doesn't look like people dicking around on the internet. It looks like a proper film.
Yeah. But that... So where... You're right. That where it... Well, I think the idea for the film originally... I know, I wish I've not got one. I've not got one on.
I'm just checking.
I think...
Going very slow the time. When I look with...
It's because your planet hasn't turned up. With the idea, the original, when the decision was made, which was a real flash decision to make a film, because we were doing a speculative pilot, is what we would self-funded, and we a weird thing happened with it because we filmed at East Drive, 30 East Drive, and I think we got some quite good footage. Subsequently, somebody that was working on it just sent. We'd done one treatment for it for a potential TV show. Just remember, it was first draft of the treatment, and then this person just went, "I've sent it to this person," and we went, "What? No, you can't send it. It's not. That's first draft and that." But they've said no. Unfortunately, so of course they said fucking no. It was the first draft. But what they said was, they kind of like it as an idea, the skeptic versus believer thing, but they'd want to recast it.
Yeah.
Right. So we could be development with it, but they'd want to recast it, which is fine. But it was the thing of going, already at that point, we'd had the discussion outside East Drive. It was late at night and we went out and I said to you, Q Barry.
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt. I'm deliberately trying not to interrupt. I really am.
All right, okay. I just said I don't think we're making a TV show. I think we're making a film.
Yeah.
And the discussion that we had that night was one that the first thing I said was, people make films on phones. They do that, and we've both got a phone. So we could do that. So I think if you commit to something, if you just go, we are doing it, then it's embarrassing to say you're not, isn't it? So if you actually force yourself and just go, we are making a film, and we've told thousands of listeners straight away, and then you go and you can have £10, you can have a credit. It's like, fucking got to make it now. You've got to. So,
and it's also good, it's good. I mean, because the thing is probably that springs to mind when you see it is maybe the Blair Witch Project. Okay, so it's sort of like you could pitch it as a comedy Blair Witch thing. It's not that, but that's where it starts from. But that film was a huge success with unknown actors in it. Okay, and so it's sort of, again, it's that thing where you give an idea to someone and they go, yeah, what we want to do, we'll take it, but we're changing everything about it, and we're going to put. So it works because it's you too, right?
That wasn't me that cut you off then.
Oh, no, it's fine. Sorry.
But go ahead and talk.
Sorry. I was just going to
Should I just say that every time? Barry, over to you.
Thank you.
I think he does get nervous about talking as well. That's what.
Fucking straight into that. When that thing happened, because there was a couple of people who were really interested, like you say, and they got too giddy, too quick, and they basically just sent the pitch to Steve Coogan's production company.
You'll notice that I didn't mention the company.
Oh, right. But the point
it was Baby Cow.
It was Baby Cow. It was a big company, so it was a big knockback to get when we weren't even ready to
We
try
hadn't
and
pitched it. We hadn't really pitched it.
Yeah.
And I was working with Baby Cow, as in on Red Dwarf, they were making Red Dwarf. So it was one of them that was like, I wasn't offended by it at all, but it also came on the back of, I was casting, do you remember that film I was casting, about the Yeti thing, the Bigfoot thing?
Yeah.
So I was cast basically as him.
Right.
To play this, somebody who believed in, that was a Bigfoot in the woods and things. And it was me and, it doesn't matter who it was. So we made a little taster tape for it, and then they kind of sacked me. They just went, we've spoken to some producers and funding people, and they're saying that, because the other person was a bit well known, and they just went, and they've just said that if you're in the lead, that we're not going to be able to get funding and stuff. Yeah. So I had to go off, like, and I was actually all right, but there was two things quite close together, which kind of, I felt, we talked about it quite a lot, I felt quite galvanised. I was like, right, I'll fucking show him, I'll do. Like, I know, if I was a casting director, I wouldn't put either of us in a film. Do you know what I mean? It's against...
But also that's why it works, because you're not, it's...
Not what?
You're not like people who are usually in films.
Well, that's...
Apart from maybe Lord of the Rings or something you could be in.
Wow. And you could be in a Star Wars film if they ever decided to do a bit where old Ben Kenobi was trying to get into a nightclub. I'm not done stand-up for a long time. I was trying there. I just saw the white hair and went, Ben Kenobi.
You are...
Trainers, nightclub diet.
You are regular-looking guys, and not film star-looking people. If they put film stars in this, you know what I mean? If they put Brad Pitt and...
Should we just walk off?
Angelina Jolie. If Barry was played by Angelina Jolie and you were played by Brad Pitt, it wouldn't be the same. It wouldn't be the same proof.
There's something else that has made this film become relevant now. I think, presently, I have my insecurities about the way I look. I'm sure you do too. I'm sure Barry does too.
I do have insecurities about the way you look, Ian.
Yeah. Because it's like the desire is hard. It's powerful, isn't it? It's a powerful feeling. No, I do, but I can't be asked doing anything about it, and I don't feel strongly enough about it. But I also feel we have a duty of care at the moment as performers, in whatever way we do it, at this present time in the world, to look as shit as we possibly can, because otherwise we're going to make everyone else who also looks shit at the moment feel worse about themselves. So if we come out here all chiseled and good looking and slim and all that sort of thing, they're just going to feel even shitter than they already... Everyone is round.
Yeah. But
everyone is fucked.
It wouldn't work. It's funny that you were so invested in the whole idea, right? You don't believe in any of this stuff, but you still are obsessed with trying to make him realise it. You have to be, to some extent, a loser as well.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you're all like, oh, I'm very cool, and I'm going to tell you why this is ridiculous.
Quite cool, though.
You are cool, but if you look cool, but you don't look cool. But you are cool.
Thanks, cheers,
More
mate.
important. So
I feel like we're losing this a little bit.
No, but it's we're going on about it too much. But it's.
I'll save this.
You haven't been told you can speak, Barry. You can speak.
Sorry. Do carry on.
Barry, what were you going to say?
To be honest with you, this is the longest a waiter's ever stood near the table, isn't it? It's quite weird. It's like we're still waiting for these fucking drinks.
No, I was just going to say, so when that happened, when that got sent off and they came back with good idea, but not them two. Yeah.
It wasn't quite as blunt as that.
So sum it up, it was basically like we need more people who are more well known. And my first thought then was, to get these people to understand it, who would be able to make something of it, you'd have to get them to listen to the podcast, because the podcast isn't necessarily about ghosts. It's about mine and Ian's relationship in how we in my belief and with his disbelief and the argument in the middle, but without ever coming to blows or calling each other name. No, we never have. We've argued. We've got a relationship made on conflict. But
you nearly hit me once.
Yeah, I know, back of a Travelodge. I remember. Oh, it was beautiful.
It was back of a Travelodge, and I was furious that there was no cameras there. I was really.
Do you know why I didn't? I had a bag of sausage rolls in my hand at the time. It was next to Greg's.
You do, honestly, you get saved in such weird ways, don't you? And since then, I've put a lot of money into Greg's because I feel like.
But I just thought...
But you did, didn't you? But that's quite relevant.
Just been at Greg's,
no, I don't mean you were at Greg's. He squared up to me.
Sorry.
I can still see your eyes. I can remember it. It was very early in the morning. You hadn't had much sleep and you squared up to me.
Done. That was the morning that I was done. And I was beyond tired.
But do you not think that would have looked, if we'd have filmed that would have looked fucking brilliant? It would have been uncomfortable. But I stared you right down.
Yeah, and I stared you right down as well. But the problem was...
You had sausage rolls that you wanted to eat. If you imagine two people like glaring at each other, and one of them just going... like Ewan in The Office.
But it was through a combination of like exhaustion and nerves and hunger that me getting angry meant that my finger that I was trying to point deliberately was fucking trembling the whole time. So I don't think it would have looked that good on screen.
Oh, I think it would have been ace. I do, honestly, I really do.
Nah, I'm sort of glad.
Well, there is an argument in the film, and it is,
that's quite intense. Yeah.
I mean, it's because
it was worse than that.
Is it all?
Yeah.
Real, genuine. I mean,
yeah. There was a review came out today when we're recording this that said it was a mockumentary.
Yeah.
And I retweeted it because we've got to do all that at the minute. But it was like I had to say, it's not a mockumentary. It says at the beginning of it.
Yeah.
The following events are real, but. Going back to Blair Witch, so did Blair Witch. That has become a thing now where people do say that as a device to make it from Texas Chainsaw, I guess, really on with.
It goes back to Cannibal Holocaust. Just
I do apologise.
But it was the first film to do that trick, which was make a statement that means absolutely nothing. And it says right at the start, for reasons of authenticity, some sequences are retained in their entirety. Okay. And so you watch it and you go, oh, but it doesn't mean anything. So it doesn't mean anything. Yeah. So when I saw that thing where it said the following events are real, I had a feeling that I thought, is this a sort of nod to things like Blair Witch and that sort of, as in, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but you were there. Do you remember when we filmed that film?
Yeah.
You were there. You were there, and you know that it.
Yeah, I know it was real.
He's tapped out.
Gone, right?
He's looking at Bob Mortimer questions again now. But you know that was real.
But I sort of like the fact that it puts a bit of doubt in your mind as well, as into.
I agree for an audience, but that shouldn't happen to you. Who was? You shouldn't have a bit of doubt in your mind. Oh, is this all made up? And who's that bloke who really looks like me in it?
No, I just meant it was, oh, fucking hell, we met this bloke in the woods, Richard. You wouldn't believe me.
No, that wasn't a prompt.
Sorry.
I was doing a private joke between us, but you can tell him if you want.
Yeah, tell me about the bloke in the woods.
Oh, we met this bloke in the woods. Have you ever met somebody...
Was he an angel?
Well...
Completely naked, all his feathers had gone.
Have you ever met someone who looks just the double of you?
We were just talking about, him. She has. She's met someone who's the Hannah's...
It was one of the spookiest things in the world. It was like seeing a mirror me. It just arrived.
I started talking to him thinking it was Barry.
Right.
It's a delete. It's not in the film.
Why did you delete that? That sounds amazing.
I'll send it you. It's on page now, but I'll send it you. It's a guy called Patrick, and he, our producer had met him in a pub. These stories are worth telling, aren't they? Forgive me, Bill, but I'm going to tell the story. So, two things happened, right? Bev Dixon works on the film. You know Johnny's PA?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, so Bev... what?
I know what you're going to say.
Right.
I know what story's coming.
No, me and Bev are good pals. The producer, I think, just saw her as, oh, that's Johnny Vegas's PA. I don't think he'd registered that me and Bev knew each other. Mm-hmm. So Bev was telling me things that the producer was trying to set up to catch me out in the film I was directing.
Yeah.
So, but in the woods, he'd asked... So the two things. One, he'd booked Patrick. It was a bloke that he met in a pub who told him that he'd got a machine that could bring down aliens to the Earth. And Bill had gone, brilliant, do you want to be in a film? Right? And it was a surprise. I didn't know about it, but I did know about it because Bev had told me, right? The second thing that happened, but I didn't know that he looked like Dodds. The second thing, do you want to tell this? Because I now feel like I should bail.
No, I don't. I really don't want to tell it. No, I honestly, it's a minefield for me, that.
Actually, that is true. I'll be able to say the right words. Yeah. So, the producer said to Bev, can you use some of your showbiz contacts to book Warwick Davis to dress up and jump out at Ian in the woods? Right? And I said, why has he asked you that? And she went, I just said, no, I can't do that. I can't do that. I went, why does he want to do that? And she went, he thinks it'll make you jump. I went, well, it might, but I also might just knock him spark out, just on the spot, because I won't know. I'm directing this film, so I should know what's going on. And it was a moment where I was like, I'm genuinely flying solo here. Like, do you know what I mean? As a director, I was like, oh, fuck, this could go so bad. And it was also, but the problem with Warwick, it was like, why Warwick? Like, why? If it's a little person that you want to, but by all means, if that's what you think, if that's the logic you've got of something, smaller coming out in the woods, but why Warwick? And then we started thinking, is it the only? Does he think there's only one? Does he Wasn't it though? We were discussing it like I don't know how to broach this at all. And yeah,
but the problem is that Bill is obviously a man with money to burn, hence this, and there was no way of guaranteeing that he wasn't just going to Google Warwick Davis agent, and then at some point
book him direct.
Book him direct, and at some point we're going to be in a haunted location. Then honestly, it's a weird thing looking over your shoulder for Warwick Davis, right?
In the woods,
just being like
in the middle of the night. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It was. It was like that, where we just kept sort of saying to each other, "Okay, be extra vigilant." but it wasn't it mainly. We were discussing that when we were there, and I was saying, "I'm just really scared I will kick him or hit him." I was scared of that. Yeah. Of just like lashing out. If something attacks me, I will lash out. Like,
imagine that in the film, though, it'd be amazing.
It wouldn't.
Then they could ask you for 10 Tenable things. If you watch Tenable.
For what?
If you watch Tenable, he's the host of Tenable. It's the show I watched when I was recovering from chemo.
I can't work that programme out.
It's good. It's got 2 different hosts, which is great. So Warwick Davis does some of them, and then when he can't be bothered, the girl from Coronation Street does it. Sally Lindsay does it. Yeah, and it's like pointless, but you've got to come up with a list of 10 things. It's quite hard, but I was watching it when I was recovering from chemo. It's one of the things that I associate, and it makes me feel sick to watch it as a result. There's things that make me feel...
Because of the chemo?
Yeah, because I was feeling sick when I was watching it. And also, it's sponsored by a bed company, the reclining beds, because it's for old people in the daytime. And the music is slightly discordant to this, and that makes me feel... And it's making me feel sick talking about it now. Yeah. It's sort of like... And he goes... It's just slightly off-key. Someone told me about all the musicality of why it makes me feel like... But the music actually makes me feel sick.
But it's just like a game show.
Yeah, it's good, though. It's a good game show.
But
it's too hard. Do anyone watch Tenable? It's on in the daytime. Yeah, it's too hard, isn't it?
I have quite a lot of things that
I like it, though. I want to do it. Do you want to be on my team? I want to go on it. I said I want to go on, and Ed Byrne immediately tweeted, said, I'll be in your team.
I nearly got on that one with Ben Shepherd where the thing was dropped.
I've done that.
I nearly got on that.
Ben Shepherd's a future guest. Still some tickets available if you want to come and see Ben Shepherd.
Oh, yeah.
I've never entered a game show, and I never will. Why? What one did you tried to get on Crystal Maze as well?
Yeah, we got knocked back from Crystal Maze because one of my mates acted the dick. We were so close to being on the Crystal Maze.
Yeah.
And then my mate, the whole angle of it was the pushy game coin thing. That wasn't a comedian thing. That was just me trying to go and have a deal with Ben Shepherd.
Yeah.
But
I can sort
Crystal
it out,
Maze, the angle was that we were all stand-up comics. and we had loads of we had phone interviews, email interviews, and all that. And then it got to the final bit where we had to go and do the camera test and play the games. And so we did it, and obviously it wasn't a set, it was just this room in this hotel in Birmingham. And
It was just Richard Ayoade in a ball pool.
and I need to stand up to do the story justice. But my friend Dave Longley, he's a very big, confident bloke, and the producer was lovely. She said, "Listen, it might be your first time in front of a camera, so don't worry. Just you do whatever you need to do to relax. We're all friends here." And she was being over nice.
Yeah.
And then so we all had to hold up a bit of paper in front of the camera and say, "Hello, my name's Barry from Nottingham." Da 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 da. And then it got to Dave, and Dave went, "Hi, I'm." Hi, and we were thinking, what are you doing? And she went, "It's all right, you just here." And he went, "All right, fair enough." "I'm Dave Longley from Nottingham." Right? And we all looked at him like, the fuck have you just done that for? Right? The cameraman, I swear I could see him just being like, "Oh, yeah, that's that. Don't need any more of that."
Do you remember my one, the Pirates one that I did? Well, you weren't there, but I've told you about it. Have I ever
Yes.
told you about the Pirates?
I think you mentioned it, the kids show.
Ed and I went to
Yeah.
it. Yeah. So it was when I was in Peacock and Gamble, me and Ed Gamble, and we went to BBC in Salford because they said about us being in I think it's on that show now.
Right.
And they have two pirates. And Karen Taylor was there. I think she was casting for another part in it.
Okay.
And we got there, and we were like a bit humming and hawing about whether we wanted to do kids telly, about whether that would be something that we would. But I think Peacock and Gamble would potentially be quite a good fit for kids telly, really.
Yeah.
And we went in there and we did an absolutely belting casting. We did really, really well. Loads of improv. Ed had paid for himself to come up. I had gigs up north anyway, so I just come across Salford from there. And we were so good. We'd done brilliantly about it. And there's a panel of people there, and there was a girl on the camera there as well. And they said, "It's been very funny what you've been doing. We had to do some cooking and that. And we were throwing flour over all that. It's very, very funny. We really like you, really like. But how do you feel? Because you have done Edinburgh shows and things. How do you feel about working with children?" And I just went, "Hang on, is this to do with you, Tree?" Right? And Ed did the same thing. Well, I can still see it now. I can still see Ed now just going, like looking at me. And I went, what? That's how they get you, mate. That's how they get you. And it just fucking... And only the girl on the camera was laughing. And we were like, she's probably not the decision maker. We just sat outside, at Salford by the quay and all that sort of thing. And he was just like, "I can't believe I've paid so much money to come up here to do that. And we did it so well. And then you brought up you brought up the air badge and knackered it, I think.
Good show.
I've not heard yet.
They still made us play the games at the Crystal Maze even after that. They did, honestly, yeah.
Did they?
Yeah, we had to cut a pizza into like 7 bits or something with 3 goes or something. Yeah. And it just, honestly, it was so fucking depressing. Just sat there with this fake plastic knife going, "Yeah, put one there, just going, this is fucking...
Dave's had a wank.
Yeah, Dave's pretending...
It's not going to happen now, is it?
Yeah, it's not going to happen, yeah.
Are you sure it was definitely the Crystal Maze?
Yeah, I was thinking that then.
I'm not where they cut a pizza into 3 bits.
I've not seen the new Crystal Maze, but is that what you do now?
Try and cut this pizza into 3 bits.
No, it was basically they were making us play mental games. I think they looked at me and went, "Don't bother with the physical. We'll get the big lad to do those ones." So like, you cut a pizza into bits, you look like you know how. So yeah, it was point.
The guys who got your job were very good, though. I've watched that show with my kids. I'm trying to think what it's called. I can think of this. Swashbuckle. Hey ho, swashbucklers go. Put up the pirate. Yo ho ho.
Oh, I know this one. I learned it.
Don't mention you, Tree. Oh, you won't be able to do this. I think they're called Cook and Line. They're Cook, Line.
That's
and
right.
Sinker.
Yes, that's right.
And I think the guy. I might be wrong about this. I'm gonna just say it anyway. I think they are in a relationship together, the two guys.
Are they?
Yeah, I
Me
believe
and Ed
so.
were?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. No.
It's not what they were looking for. And they're very
I
lovely.
honestly
They're
thought
very
you were going to
charming.
say then Ed's doing it with someone else. It's Ed and James Acasted. They've done much better at podcasts than you. So you got to do it. Get rid of the dead wood. That's what you got to do, really.
What does that make me?
What do you mean?
We say get rid of the dead wood.
No, I'm saying that you are set for stardom as long as you drop me.
All right.
Oh no, Ed didn't drop. It wasn't. I fell out over a chick. That's not true either. It was over a drugs thing.
So, guys.
I'm annoyed as well because you've had your under your shirt as well. Can I just show you this?
Yeah.
Are you getting ready to wrap up?
Yeah, but we can do another
Can I
five.
just show you that? Show me your shirt that you've got. It's lovely. No, the one underneath.
I had to go to Marks and Spencer.
Show the one
today to
underneath.
get the one
I've got a
underneath.
Parapod glow in the dark one.
Yeah.
Which I would feel uncomfortable wearing, but for Bob Mortimer, who in 1991 used to wear the Big Night Out T-shirt on stage, and I thought it was as a teenager, I thought that was the coolest thing I'd ever seen, that someone was wearing their own merch. I thought it made me buy that T-shirt. I've not got it anymore, but yeah. So I thought I'm going to wear it. I don't care. But I've also made Barry wear some other merch as well. I'll show you. What this is. This is the character called Cactus Man that Barry's sporting for us now on his T-shirt, which is a character that I bought off Barry for 10 pence.
Yeah.
Because he thought it was a no good idea, and I've subsequently put it on merchandise and made like loads of money on it. And I'm doing a graphic novel as well, and there's also genuinely a film in development.
Oh, but really?
An animated film is in development, right? Attached to a proper production company.
You're joking?
You know, I said I've got something to tell you, and I'm not telling you. I've sold it. I've sold the full rights to it.
Fucking hell.
10p. Not bad, that is it?
Well, he sold it. That's sold it in
Good
good
investment.
faith. You got his 10p.
Got a T-shirt.
That's right.
I do want that back, really.
Oh, really? You did that with the Parapod hoodies as well. Do you remember?
The Parapod hoodies?
Yeah.
What?
Oh, it doesn't matter. Sorry.
That's the big finish we were going for.
When can people see this bloody film if they want to? And where is it? And what do we do? Top of the iTunes charts at the moment.
Well, you can pre-order on iTunes now, and it will be available on video on demand on several platforms such as iTunes, Amazon, and everyone's favourite one, Rakuten.
Have you got Rakuten on your telly?
I've got Rakuten.
Have you all got Rakuten? Get it on Rakuten. Yeah, get it on
Fucking delete
Rakuten.
it either. They can't get rid of it. Fucking everything trying to...
That's good promo, isn't it?
Oh, shit, yes.
Say the name of them wrong and then say you've been trying to delete it off your telly. So the Sky Store as well, been trying to cancel that for months and all.
Oh, yeah, available on Sky Store as well.
That's the 27th of September.
Okay.
I think this will come out after the screenings. I think
it will, but it's going out right now into people's
Of
houses.
course it is, yeah, okay. So the screen, if you go to the
And
Parapod.com...
there's some people here, look. They're not ghosts, they're
No,
real people.
That's what they are. They're collateral. What's happened there? They've made it into a gig and made it into it's all been nice and stuff, but we have lost them for good now from tonight. If you go to Parapod.com, all the live screenings are on there, and we do Q&As at the live screenings as well and that sort of thing. So it sounds like one of them because it's really it's sort of better for us if people just buy it online, buy it, wherever it's with iTunes and Amazon and all that sort of thing, if they get it that way on the 27th. However, genuinely, the rooms, when we've done the screenings thus far, because we did some before the lockdown and things, we've done 4. Was it 4? 3 or 4? You were at one.
I was at one.
And in it, there is a thing in the room, isn't there? There's
Yeah.
a thing that happens with that film that I don't know if that will happen just watching it on telly at home. It might, but I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's the cinema experience. I know exactly what you mean, and
It feels an energy to it. I think
it's the people who are seeing it in those previews are the people who are often who've got behind. They're the people
Yeah,
who are
fans, I suppose,
the big fans of it and who've contributed it. So it's got this extra element to it. But it genuinely, it's like, what is it? How much does it cost to rent it?
$7.99.
$7.99. If you don't like it, I'll give you your money.
To rent it, that's to buy it.
That's to buy it.
$7.99 to buy it.
Hang on, wait, what did you just say?
The guy said,
Have you just
don't like
genuinely
it.
given a money back
"If you don't
guarantee?
like it,
Holy fuck!
I'll give you your
and
money
this is
back.
now live. Where are cameras now? Buy it right now on iTunes, right this second.
Yeah.
Get it?
I
Because if
thought
you
it was
don't like
shit.
it when it comes out, he'll give you your money back. He's just said that.
I'll give
I
you your
thought
money
it
back.
was shit as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll give you your money back.
Load of shit.
Guaranteed.
I've bullied all the way through that as well. Don't even believe in ghosts.
It was a
Load of
fucking money.
shit.
I'll give you a free stream of RHLSTP.
You've not asked one. I don't want you to, but you've not asked one emergency question of us today.
I know.
and I like that. I'm glad about that.
Yeah.
But I did ask Barry an emergency question on our dummy run that we did on
Yeah.
Patreon, where I couldn't remember what the question was, but I asked him, would he suck off Keith Allen? Is what I said. And he said, how much? And I went, I forget how this question goes. And I offered him £10. We did it like, Chris Tarrant's show when he used to do that thing where the money would go up.
Yeah.
And you had to say yes before the bong.
Yeah.
So we did it like that. And what was it you agreed to that you said you would suck off Keith Allen? So was it £652 you said? I think it was. Is that right? Does anybody know? Is that right? Yeah. Thank you. Okay, £652 he would do it for. So what I would do is I would say that you can relinquish your promise to refund people for the movie.
Okay.
However, as a compensation, I think you should pay Keith Allen £600. You should pay Barry £652.
Yeah.
Right.
And he's got to go and try and suck off Keith Allen. But we can't tell Keith Allen about
Like,
it. He's just got to try to do it.
I mean, try to do it with Keith Allen's consent.
Yeah, well,
I
yeah.
don't want him going and mouth raping Keith
Apparently
Allen.
Is it not just implied with Keith Allen?
Apparently he gets his knob out at the drop of a hat somewhere.
Yeah,
Well, be ready. Just be ready is all you got to do. No, it's
funny how some people do that and get into trouble, and some people
Isn't it weird
carry
that,
on
though?
with their careers.
There's loads of comics who, isn't there? There's quite a lot. Have you ever been one
I
of
mean,
them?
only if the part demanded it.
No, but have you ever been the sort to get out in the pub and stuff like that, or put it on someone's shoulder and that?
I wouldn't do it now because people would see my sad one testicle.
You did. Was that backstage shout, or can I say the thing? What was it?
Yeah,
But you said that you see it in the mirror.
Did they put
Yeah.
a fake one in?
You can do, but I chose.
not had it.
I'm proudly one bald, and I'm saying when I first had it, I said I'm not having a fake one put in. That's ridiculous. No one's going to see it. And it was about 3 days after the operation. or shortly after the operation, I kind of caught myself in the side mirror. On one side, I looked like a grown adult man, and the other side, I looked like a tiny boy. and I thought of doing like a music hall act.
You could be the one-man Crankies.
But then it just goes into the middle. It just goes in the middle. So just the one.
ball
Goes in the middle.
The one that's left goes, I can stretch out. And just goes, just like if you're in a double bed on your own.
Do you mind me asking, have you got big balls?
I
big
did.
balls?
Well, one of them was massive.
No, sorry.
I
did.
did. But they are quite big, so
Are they?
that's why I did.
Mine are tiny.
Yeah, are they?
Yeah, really small.
That means you're more likely to be monogamous.
Be
I think.
what?
I think if you've got small balls, you're the monogamous, aren't you? That's in nature. We were talking about this last week with the Nobody Panic hosts. But I think if it's small balls means monogamous and big balls means you're not meant to be monogamous in nature.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
So it's biologically.
But it's a species thing rather than you've just got small balls.
Yeah, was it be an embarrassment thing of just going, well, I've found someone now who doesn't mind my little balls, so I should just stay with that person now with my little balls, and she'll be all fine with the little balls. Yeah, I've got a relatively. How big are your
I was
balls?
born with 3. I've told you this.
You've really not. How the fuck can you look at me and say, I was born with 3 balls, and then go, I've told you this? Of course. Do you think I would talk about anything else? What do you mean you were born with 3
I'm
balls?
sure this is not. Does anybody know that I was born with 3 bollocks?
Does everybody know it?
Just his mum at the back, yes.
Do you not know?
You've never told me this.
Because I was gutted because they shaved me. It was in the Who's the Bigger Man competition. I think we should wrap up now.
No. Fuck, you can't do that to people. What, were all 3 of them testicles?
Well,
Or was it like a growth or whatever?
one of them was sort of a bit
But there were testicles within.
Yeah, all right.
in
Don't be going
intent.
like one of your balls wasn't good enough. I've only got one, mate.
Yeah,
I go, I had one that wasn't quite up to testicle pass.
Got loads of balls, mate.
No, I've got right.
I don't love that little extra ball.
Oh, sorry.
You could have kept it for Richard. He could have had your ball in his
you
little
come
sack.
here complaining about your 2 balls.
I mean, I've got 2, but it's only 1.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's
When you add them together.
Yeah, yeah. Why? And why did you? What? So with
How's this only come up at the end of the...
he tells me something almost every day, I think, that should have been the biggest story he's ever told me. like every single day, and that's a new one now.
How did they find out? When did they take the third? Because when you're a baby, it's not...
No,
they've
what
even
happened was
descended.
we used to camp out in my mate's back garden, and my mate Phil was a couple of years older, whereas me and my brother were the same age, and he was giving it, oh, I'm the bigger man, I've got pubes now, right? We just had like a couple of spider's legs and that, right? But I just thought...
Then you drop your pants and were like a desk toy.
Mate, honestly, not a million miles away from that. I just went, yeah, well, check this out, 3 balls. Right, went 1, 2, 3, right? My mum was outside the tent, and she went, 3 balls? And I went, yeah. And she went, doctors. We went to the doctors, and I had an operation. I'll show you the scar.
You don't have to.
And they took it out, and when
You can keep that T-shirt.
And when I came out, I was gutted because they'd shaved off the 3 pubes I had. So I'd gone from top of the league to the bottom in the tent.
Which ironically is what's just happened to our film on iTunes.
Oh shit, yeah, buy the film.
It's called The Parapod, a very British ghost film.
How did they choose which one to take off?
That's a good question.
It was really obvious it was a bit higher. It was higher than the other 2. It was clearly a passenger.
Yeah, just there. It was just there, you know, under my cock.
Could you retract your penis up into your body?
Do you know what? Because
When we were at the back, when Bob was on, he was just going, I can do this.
it sort of happened. I don't want to be serious because I know you've had things, but I had a bit of a health scare about a few months back. Right, basically, they thought I might have had bladder cancer, right?
Okay.
So I had...
It's available on iTunes now.
Yeah,
Do pre-order Parapod, a very British ghost hunt. Back to the cancer and the cancer.
And they had to keep doing the camera, and in the end, my knob was like, we know what's coming in here. Like, we know this place, and it just shot up inside. It just skin. And honestly, because I told you about it, because the woman in the room, don't worry, I'm not going to do the accent, right? Okay?
Well, the fact you've just said that is as bad as doing the accent.
Because she went too small.
Yeah. The lady in the room shouted too small, and he thought they meant his penis. And what was it?
It just gone out because it knew what the pain was like.
But do you think that your penis does... Do you think... Because you said, and it's like it knew. It just went, no, I'm going.
Well, I didn't do it myself.
Do you think your penis doesn't... It's not separate to you. It's not a different little man down there, is it? It's all part of the same thing.
Yeah, but things happen to your body. Like, you don't give yourself goose pimples.
But it's not your penis that's making the decision.
It did that day.
No, it's you. It's you.
It's made some fucking stupid ones in the past as well, I can tell you that.
What do you reckon? Is
too late, it's going out
that
live.
cancelable?
It's gone out. It's on the internet already.
It has happened, hasn't it? Yeah. That has just happened.
Gone into people's houses.
Yeah. Ex-girlfriends, everyone's saying that now.
Worried about Dave Longley's fucking massive. He'll twat me for that Crystal Maze story.
if you can stop wanking long enough to do it, yeah.
Well, I think it's been a lovely advert for your film.
Oh, God.
Hopefully everyone will go and download it.
I hope they will as well,
And,
but it isn't like this, really.
It's, you know,
It's a bit like this, isn't it? A little bit.
it's good. It's very good, and not as good as this, but it's good. Yeah, look, thanks guys for coming. I'm really glad we got to do this after 18 months.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Thank you very much for everyone.
Cheers. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the amazing Parapod nerds. Ian. Yeah, very good nerd. Thank you very much. Come and see us again. We can still tickets for October. Come and see us in October. Goodbye. You have been listening to RHLSTP with me, Rich Herring, and my guests, Barry Dodds and Ian Boldsworth. Scant Regard are responsible for the music you are now listening to. I am indebted to my producer, Ben Walker. Thank you very much to Chris Evans and all the team from Go Faster Stripe. They do a wonderful job. Thank you to everyone at the Leicester Square Theatre for making us so welcome. You are fantastic, especially the bar staff, I have to say. They are the best. And this is a Sky Potato Fuzz and GoFasterStripe.com production. Go to GoFasterStripe.com, buy downloads, buy books, and become a badger at GoFasterStripe.com/badges and help us make even more podcasts. You can get ad-free podcasts as well if you do that if you want, but the ads are good, aren't they? They're my favourite bit.